Welcome back to the channel, good people. Hope you're all doing well on this fine Halloween. I'm going to touch up on some new information regarding God of War Ragnarok that I haven't addressed on this channel. But I just want to take a brief moment to remind you all that my game giveaway for God of War Ragnarok ends tonight at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yup, that's down to the last millisecond, good people, because as soon as the clock strikes 12 a.m. EST tomorrow morning, which is Tuesday, November 1st, the giveaway will be closed. I will reveal the two winners on Wednesday, November 2nd, in that day's video. Best of luck to all of those who participated, and without further ado, let's get into it.
And if those answers lead to war with Asgard?
Maybe that's what Mother wanted.
We do not know what Mother wanted.
First things first, we've got some information about the performance modes available for the PS4 and PS5 versions of the game. Over on the PS5, we have 4 modes players can choose from when playing God of War Ragnarok, considering they have the capable TV or monitor. We have a common mode favoring resolution, which comes in at 4K at a locked 30 FPS. We also have a traditional performance mode which locks the games at 60 FPS at a dynamic resolution. These two play modes are both the standard for Sony's first-party games, but the team at Santa Monica Studio have included 2 more modes for players to enjoy should they have the right setup. These 2 modes require a TV or monitor with HDMI 2.1 ports, with one featuring 4K at a locked 40 FPS, and the other targeting up to 120 FPS with VRR support. 120 FPS, 120 FPS, 120. Alright, I know I got a little carried away with God of War Ragnarok running at speeds of up to 120 FPS, but oh boy, that would be something to behold. If you are playing the PS5 version, let me know which mode you plan on playing the game in, good people. Now, on to the PS4 version. So, not too much information about that version of the game right now, unfortunately, but we do have word from the website Twisted Voxel that the game will run at 30 FPS at 1080p for the base PS4 model, whereas the PS4 Pro will run the game at 30 FPS at a checkerboard 4K resolution. Now, when I first played God of War 2018, I played it on a PS4 Pro, and it had a performance mode, which ran the game at frame rates of up to 60 FPS. If this mode will be included with the PS4 version of God of War Ragnarok is yet to be seen, but we can expect for players playing on the PS4 Pro to have more options as to how they run the game. And for the next piece of news, the PlayStation 5 has been touted to be revolutionary with its high-speed loading time since the console came out, and there's a reason why. You're not going to be waiting around much when playing PS5 titles, and that's an awesome thing. But some of those who are reviewing the game have claimed that the loading times on the PS5 version of God of War Ragnarok aren't all that impressive. Spoiler alert, they actually weren't the loading times. What we soon found out about these allegations quickly shed more insight as to what determines a loading screen in God of War Ragnarok and other cinematic games, and actually has nothing to do at all with the loading. Mostly. Gene Park on Twitter, who is a games reporter from the Washington Post, described in his preview of the first 5 hours of God of War Ragnarok to be excellent, but mentioned that the title was laden with squeeze-throughs, or better known as slide-through-the-crack-in-the-wall moments that, for Gene and other reviewers, was a constant reminder that they were playing a PS4 game that also has a PS5 version. You know these moments in games, right? Where your character needs to shimmy through a narrow crevice to proceed to the next area. We see these a lot in Naughty Dog's games, and we've seen them here in the God of War reboot. Even God of War 3 had some of these as well. Gamers have known to call these gameplay moments as filler moments that act as sneaky loading screens that serve as transitionary moments that load in the next area upon leaving a previous one. Well, as we come to find out, the majority of these moments are not used for loading purposes, according to some of the game developers who commented on Gene Park's article. Kurt Marganaw, a director of The Last of Us over at Naughty Dog, explained that these squeeze-throughs are used simply to funnel players from one location to another, by preventing players from returning to the previous area. He uses the colloquialized squeeze-throughs as the term valve here. Kurt's tweet reads as follows: "Of course, anytime you're preventing the player moving forward or back, you are helping with loading. Any valve means you can dump the level behind and start loading the level ahead, but only after the squeeze is finished." He then continues on by following up with, "The most common valve in a Naughty Dog game is a ledge you drop down that is too high to climb back up. We even did it in the Jeep." He's referring to Uncharted 4, or Lost Legacy here. He mentions boosting companions to higher elevations in a similar light. "We used squeeze-throughs to valve the player in to prevent them from going backwards, and boosts are for preventing you from leaving the combat space before everyone is dead. But he can't boost if they're busy shooting." He concludes by saying that the squeeze-through effect is used in a cinematic or dramatic way to lead you into a specific part of the next area, usually to transition into an animation to give you an angle that the developers want you to be in. So, as it turns out, this technique often employed by these kinds of games isn't exactly something that pertains to loading, interestingly enough, and is rather a tool used to funnel in players to a new area by preventing them from returning to their previous point. Let me know in the comments if you knew about this one, good people. Also, let me know if you're bothered by this kind of thing with these story-driven games. As for me, I think these squeeze-through moments definitely have their place when having players arrive at a specific point in a preceding area, but maybe if too many of them were to be used in frequent succession, well, then it may just come across as a bit overused. But hey, those are just my thoughts, and we're all okay to agree or disagree at the end of the day. Rest assured, be prepared to see a lot of these things when we play God of War Ragnarok this coming November. We also have confirmation that there will be a photo mode being implemented in God of War Ragnarok, although it will not be at launch. Rather, we will have to wait shortly after the game is released to get the photo mode implemented into the game. Photo mode was also added onto the previous God of War 2018 shortly after that game was released, so while unfortunate that it won't be included at launch, it will be something to look forward to later down the line. Although I don't use photo modes that often in games, I know this is a feature that has become synonymous with modern gaming, and I'd like to know if you take advantage of photo modes when you play these games. Chime down below. No news what other modes, if any, will be coming to God of War Ragnarok after the game launches as of now. Whether or not New Game Plus will be a mode implemented in the game at launch is yet to be confirmed, although it is worth mentioning that God of War 2018 did receive its New Game Plus mode shortly after the game launched in an update. With that mode, players were able to further upgrade Kratos' armor with an exclusive resource only obtainable in the New Game Plus mode, so hopefully something like that will make its way over to God of War Ragnarok. If I've missed anything, please feel free to comment below and inform all of us of the new happenings relating to the release of the game. Less than 10 days to go, good people. If you're feeling generous, go ahead and smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're loving the content. Also make sure to participate in the God of War Ragnarok giveaway if you're interested in a free copy of this game. View this video here if you want more insight into the new combat features brand new to God of War Ragnarok. Thanks again for all the awesome support, good people, and I will see you with the results of the winners of the giveaway on Wednesday. Take care, my friends.